So this video gets into fixing your formatting from the exported Word doc. So it's exported from a PDF and into a Word document. And let's say you've changed the math and everything looks good, but you want to fix the formatting, add headers and all that. I want to show the case of where all the old formatting comes in. And in this case, there's columns, there's all kinds of weird indents, all kinds of tabs. And this would be really, I'm showing this video as not necessarily a recommended way to go about things, but kind of to inform this is what happens when you go down this path and start trying to deal with all the formatting that's already there. I would suggest if you want to see kind of what actually worked, that would be the method 2 video of formatting, where you actually transfer things in a way that you don't keep all the old formatting. So this video is more to inform kind of what not to do in a case when there's so much old formatting. Now I have to deal with the formatting. Now because I converted it by exporting, it brought in all the old formatting. And I used to use like different column stuff a lot. That's actually not really recommended anymore. Really, it messes with a lot of your formatting and how the screen readers read. So at least from what I can tell. So this, first of all, I look at this and see all the extra columns I have up here on the ruler bar. And so I would go to my layout tab. Mine is up here on the upper left. Go to columns, and I would just say 1. And so you'll notice what it did. It just, all of a sudden, it looked like stuff disappeared. That's going to happen a lot. That's fine. But it cleaned it up in my mind, because now I'm not having to deal with that column. And I do my, I'm going to erase the name and date, and I do my titles a bit differently now. Instead of having things on the left, on the right, in the middle, and all over the place, I actually will put what the exam is, and then if it's for the class, I'll say, you know, pre-calculus, algebra, fall 2018, all in the same line there. And the formatting tabs, if there's any above, it doesn't look like mine has any kind of formatting tabs, but what I could do is go to, if you have extra tabs, tabs are these little, if you were to left click and it puts the little kind of right angle, then that's a tab. If you go to the paragraph and then tabs and clear all, it'll clear out all your tabs for you. So that's kind of nice. And then I also notice here I have this weird kind of indentation for some reason on my title. One of the things I like to do is just select all and then just click on this upper part of the left, and it kind of puts everything on the same playing field in terms of indenting and all of that. And then I'm going to just pull in my left indent a little bit to give it more space. And now I can take my title and center it. Oh, I forgot to do my right indent. So the right indent, I'll also do that there. Okay, so notice my top of my exam is fairly cleaned up. And the only thing missing is the name and the date. How you want to put that up on the exam, I'll leave that up to you. But the name and the date, that's different. These are headers. My exam has headers, and the first part is going to be a header 1. And so I'm going to do header 1 for exam 2 and for all of the pieces of that, because I want that all to be the header. Okay, and then I have the instructions below that. And then I have this part 1. It looks like my numbering came in okay, and the list, the sub lists that came in with the numbering, looks all right. So it looks like I think my lists are okay. It would be hard to test that without the screen reader though. Now I do want to do I noticed some extra tabs there. So I'm going to do a Control A, select all, and then now I'm going to clear all the tabs, and let's see if that takes care of the tabs I saw here. So it took care of, I saw some extra tabs, those are all done. And so we have different, this little formatting issues that are occurring here with these indentations. So these like hanging indentations, I'm going to just select my whole document. I don't know if Control A is required, but I'm going to go to my paragraph tool here, indents and spacing, and then under special, I'm going to select none. I think here is where you would also just do all the spacing as well. So I'm just going to say alignment left on all of it. I know I centered the first, but just to start, inside indentation, let's say that's going to be 0.5. Outside, I'm going to leave alone. Spacing before, I'm just going to just say 0, 0 on all of this, and line spacing single. So this, and I like to keep the don't add space between paragraphs unchecked. And the mirror indent, I'm not sure what that does. And my tabs, I want to make sure clear all, those are cleared. So this should have cleaned up my document a little bit more to where it's a little bit more uniform. And so you can see my indents are here. Now I am seeing I have extra spaces that would be read as either break, 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 or space, space, space. So I want to delete those out. And then if I want to have more spacing in between, I can actually do something else to it after I've cleaned those out. So clean out the spacing, and then from here I go to my paragraph and I can actually add some space after, and I like to add about 8 points, and then that adds a space. So you can make it as wide as you want on each one. Now I've done, it looks like most of the formatting is good on the first page. I, center my heading, and everything else is looking okay. I could change the font if I want. The math, of course, was done in a separate video. Now I would have to do alt text on my images. So you'd want to format your picture, and wherever the alt text box shows up for you, you'd need to provide some alt text description in there. Now, these are complicated graphs, and depending on what I'm testing the students and what I need them to know and what I'm assessing them on is going to drive what I write in the description. And that requires thought, research, and edits. So that is not necessarily a straightforward task, and that would take some time. So much hidden. I'm just on the second page. The moment you get into images and all the wacky formatting I had from whatever I did before, it is tough to try to make that work for you. And for example, this looks like the word final answer is one word. I go to do something as simple as space. It's not doing a normal space. It's something with the formatting. And I have worked with Word a lot of years, and that's where it gets very frustrating. So I want to just stop at this point instead of trying to format the whole document, which can be done if you don't have as many issues as my old document had. But if we go through this, the things, so if you were going to do this and not get to a kind of a point here where it gets too complicated, those were the main things, is looking for that spacing. But right here I want to show, I thought I took out all the columns. I go to this next page here, and there's more columns showing up. And that might be because I had a hard page break. There's many things that I'm not sure what I had, and it was originally a PDF from LaTeX. So something may have been in that PDF from the LaTeX output that how it rendered, it had all this formatting stuff. But in all honesty, a lot of documents are going to have these kind of hidden problems that you would have to deal with. So I'm actually going to show in another video how we can take the exported Word document, which we've went ahead and we took the math and we changed it, or maybe we didn't change it, however it is. How can you still take that and work with it where you don't have these formatting issues?